nation's favourite antiques experts.
Let's get fancy.
Behind the wheel of a classic car.
I'm always in turbo.
And a goal to scar Britain for antiques.
Hot stuff.
The aim to make the biggest profit at auction. But it's no mean feat. There'll be worthy winners.
Cha-ching.
Oh, my goodness.
And valiant losers.
Bonkers.
Will it be the high road to glory?
You are my ray of sunshine.
Oh, stop it.
Or the slow road to disaster?
Sorry.
This is Antiques Road Trip. Yeah. Look at that, eh? We're in the beautiful county of Cheshire. And who's grinning from ear to ear?
It's a beautiful day.
It sure is. It's the second leg with these two road trip faves, dealers Margie Cooper and Ochuku Ojuri.
Nice being with you.
Yeah, it was lovely being with you, Margie. The whole trip. What a great trip this is.
I know, it is.
Yeah.
Our giddy pair's carriage is this speedy green machine, the gorgeous Jaguar Mark II, built in 1963 before seatbelts were mandatory.
You're very competitive, aren't you? You
No.
said no, you are.
No, I'm
A little
not.
bit.
I believe you, Margie. Thousands wouldn't.
No.
This trip is set to be action-packed.
I've never put my hand in my pocket so quickly.
Cheshire's own Margie is a former silver dealer,
I think it's a flipping egg cup. Oh, sold.
but she can turn her hand to anything.
Wobbly fingers.
Chuko doesn't hang up out in the shops,
Oh, look at this. Ah,
but he's got a good eye for style
look at that.
and a bargain. Ah! These two are a match made in heaven.
Yeah, well, I knew we'd get on.
Margie, I'm loving being with you.
Oh, so
I'm
so am
absolutely
I.
loving it.
Chuko started with £200, and from his first sale, he made an easy loss and now has £198 and 18p. Margie began with the same amount, but has sailed ahead with £209 on the nose. I'd say it's pretty neck and neck between our two chums.
Would you holiday with me?
Of course, I would holiday
Would you?
with you. I would.
Where'd you go?
I don't know. I need choose.
Well, this is no holiday, but we are on a road trip. They started in Liverpool and their trip will cut a path through the Peak District and head mostly south before a final auction in Didcot.
We've got 5 items to buy, haven't we?
Yeah.
I think you could maybe buy a couple of steady pieces that, you know, can't lose money. They can't lose money. And then
Yeah.
maybe take a bit of a gamble on a couple of them.
Be a bit extravagant.
Yeah.
The Jaguar will be purring its way to Stafford for an auction, but Congleton is where our cool cats are kicking off. The town was once a centre of textile production, particularly gloves and lace. Rather fitting then. The mitts are off for our competitive antiqueurs in a former Victorian mill, now filled with collectibles.
I love all this stuff.
I have bought these before and done okay. And these came into being in the mid-19th century. Because early in the 19th century, when you sent a letter, the receiver paid for it. The person who received it had to pay for it. Well, if you sent a letter to somebody who couldn't afford it, the letter then came back to the sender. So it was an absolutely crazy idea. £34. If I can get those for sort of 25 quid. I've got to haggle a bit on these because they've got to be in the 20s for me to have a chance. And I'm going to carry on looking.
One to weigh up for later then.
Oh, it's a great place, this, but a lot of stairs.
You get your steps in on the road trip, Marge.
Everywhere you look, you see things. And what's this? Ah, this looks quite good. Let's have a look at this.
Walkies?
You know, I quite like him, and he's got a few things going for him, right? A, he's a dog, spaniel of some kind, a dog cell. It's a doorstop. It's great quality, and it's an old one by quite a well-known maker called W. Bullock.
Victorian. They also made spittoons.
He's nicely cast. He's cast iron. He weighs a ton, and I just think he's got a chance. But I've got to find out how much he is. Because if he's under £30, I think I can buy this.
Another one for the maybe pile for Margie. How's Chuko getting on?
Look how sombre and contemporary that is. Just a simple black pot. And to me, that's exciting. And Royal Lancastrian, they're really decorative. You know, this is circa 1930, so a lot of stuff around that period would be full of colours and flowers and, you know, what we may take today to be, you know, quite sweet, quite saccharine. And that's the bits that I love, that you can take from a time that's, you know, 100 years ago and bring it today and make it look like it arrived today. I think it's a really good thing. I don't want to pay a lot of money for it. It hasn't got a price on it.
Nice find. Moving on.
Wow, look at that. Music, making music to my ears. Or you'd think, but I think these are actually early dumbbells. And it's got on here, department store Gamages, opened 1881.
That'll be Gamages of Holborn, London. Trading for nearly a century, the department store was particularly known for its toys and hardware.
I really like these. What an unusual thing, because you don't really imagine people 1900 like working out or keeping fit. You consider that to be quite a modern day thing to do. I think they're really, really smart. They don't have a price on, so hopefully I can get them for a steal.
While Chuko works out his options...
I bet there's nobody watching this programme who's ever had to suffer one of these. It is probably an early 20th century dentist's drill. Belt driven, so there would be a belt under there that would go around there, come up here, and this would activate the drill. You can almost hear it, can't you? The things that turn up in antique centres. And if you want to buy it, it's £95. No, thank you. I don't want it. I don't want anything to do with it.
Not one for the faint-hearted, eh?
I've been all around this shop, and this, to me, is something so special. And I love bird cages anyway. People nowadays will put flowers in them, dried flowers, ornaments. You can have them at home, you can have them in shops, you can have them in restaurants. But to find one like this in such good condition, and just look how unusual this is. You know, the wire work on this is phenomenal. A true artist. And best of all for me is this feeder, and these are always missing.
As this French bird cage could be around 150 years old, that's a rare find.
For this to survive that long, it's just wonderful.
No price, though. Hopefully it's going cheap, cheap. Oh, dear. Over to the dealer, Julia.
Hi, Julia. You've got some absolutely wonderful things here. So I found the kind of 19th century, early 20th century dumbbells.
OK.
I love those.
They're very interesting.
You've got that lovely black pot.
Yeah, Royal Lancastrian, I think.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Thanks for that. And you've got a gorgeous, my favourite of all, is this Victorian French bird cage.
Yeah, that's
with the
really...
original feeder on there.
That's beautiful.
I'd like to buy all of them.
OK.
So this is what I'm thinking. The pot, I'd like to pay £5.
OK.
The dumbbells, 10.
OK.
And if we could get to 45 on the bird cage.
Oh, the two items, the dumbbells can be 10 and the Royal Lancastrian vase can be 5. But the bird cage has got to be 50.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. Deal?
Deal.
Brilliant. Right, my money here.
Very kind, Julia. That's £65 for a total of 3 lots for auction.
Take care.
That haul leaves Chuko with £133 and some change. While he goes off on his travels, Margie's off to another till to see dealer Kate.
Right, Kate. Oh, I think he's a very nice little dog.
He's lovely.
And I think he's quite old, isn't he?
He is Victorian.
And so there's no price on it, so I'm hoping that he's buyable.
Well, the best on him would be 25.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. Thank you very much. And the postal scales.
Postal scale.
Yeah, they're 30-something, yeah, which is a bit high for me.
We can do 25 on that as well.
OK, so it's 50 for the two.
50 for the two.
Thank you very much indeed. Had a really nice time here, enjoyed it.
Lovely.
Thank you very much
Thank you
indeed.
so much.
Those tidy buys leave Margie with £159 remaining. Meanwhile, Ochuko is taking a break from his shopping spree and stopping off in Etruria to hear about a man from the potteries who changed the face of Britain way back in the 18th century. Treasurer of the Potteries Heritage Society, Andy Perkin, has the story.
Hi, Andy. Who's this guy?
That's James Brindley, famous at the end of his life for being a canal engineer.
Born in Derbyshire in 1716, James Brindley transformed the way canals were constructed. His engineering genius meant greater volumes of goods could be moved and new markets created, helping make Britain the world's leading commercial nation.
People think that he was illiterate and poor, but in fact, he was from a yeomanry family near Buxton. He was educated by his mother, and he went off to learn the trade of a millwright.
Wow.
Was apprenticed in Macclesfield, and soon it became apparent that he was much cleverer than the person he was working for, making cogs and wheels and diverting power, so using the wind, the water, to drive mills.
In 1759, Brindley's skills caught the attention of the Duke of Bridgewater, who commissioned him to design and build a 10-mile canal linking his mines in Worsley to Manchester, reducing the cost of coal to a fraction. Leaders in Stoke's renowned pottery industry soon got wind and commissioned a vast waterway of their own.
They wanted a 93-mile canal with 76 locks.
Seems like an enormous task.
It was, so that's why you needed a clever bloke like James Brindley.
To make the country's first long-distance canal possible, Brindley designed narrow locks and halved the canal's width. This conserved on costs and water supply required to fill it. In turn, the barge had to be adapted to fit, hence the creation of the narrow boat we still use today.
So, oh, look, I don't want to fall in. I'd be like this.
That's right.
OK.
That's turning this way.
Yeah.
And then pull it the other way, that's taking you the other way.
The narrow boats brought Cornish clay from the sea to Stoke and then safely shipped the fragile pottery to markets in London and to the coast. To achieve the 93-mile canal system Brindley was tasked with, he had to create 5 tunnels, the longest being through Harecastle Hill.
The canal, of course, had to go through the hill, something that was never done at that time at all. There was no geology information at that time. You don't know whether you're going to hit solid rock or sand or clay, which is why it took 11 years.
It would be 5 years after Brindley died that the tunnel was finally completed. During his lifetime, he designed and built nearly 400 miles of waterways, but the impact of his genius didn't stop there. Technology developed by Brindley and later Thomas Telford was then used by engineers to create cuttings and embankments for railways, which paved the way for Britain to become an industrial powerhouse. What a legacy, eh? And speaking of incredible engineering, here comes Margie in the marvellous Mark II.
I absolutely love this car. I really do. Detective Morse, he had a car like this, didn't he? So it's quite a famous car, a famous model.
I can think of another one of those. Suits you, Margie.
The only thing that's annoying me a bit is I don't particularly like the gold-plated Jaguar figure on the front. The rest of it is all beautiful chrome. It's the small thing that's irritating me a bit. But apart from that, I'm having a lovely time.
Now that's what I call attention to detail. Margie's popping over to the former mining town of Cobridge. She's here to dig through the Potteries Antique Centre, which specialises in Staffordshire's famous ceramics and a bevy of other collectibles besides. And she still has £159 to spend.
This was what you used on wash day back in the Victorian times and into the 20th century, can you believe? You would have your corrugated barrel full of hot water and soap, get the clothes in, and then you would work it like that and like that. There you go, like that. And that's how you washed. Can you imagine it? Am I glad that I just go like that now?
Me too, Margie. Less time washing leaves more time for hunting for antiques.
Ah, now what we got here?
Do share.
Let's have a look here. So we've got a dressing table set. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, a 6-piece set, which would have been glorious in its day. In these sets, because nobody really wants other people's brushes, but you can get them actually professionally cleaned. That's for your collar. And that's what you want, really. That's the only thing that's of any value, the mirror, because the mirrors are still useful. And unfortunately, when you get this design, when they've been cleaned over the years, you end up rubbing it, and so those end up like little holes. Can you see? And they can be fixed, but it's not perfect. Also, the lining starts to come adrift, and when it's been used all these years, it's all breaking up. What's drawn me to this is that it's a complete set. It's a ladies' dressing table set. It's 100 years old, so I think we'll get Joe in and have a word.
Now, that's what we like to hear. Time to see Joe the dealer.
Joe, I've seen a 6-piece, I don't think it's matching, ladies' dressing table set.
Perfect.
How much is it?
65.
So can I make an offer of 40?
I can go to 55.
45?
45. Yeah, okay, I can do that.
Thank you very much, Joe.
Nicely done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That handsome lot has left Margie with £114 in the kitty. A busy day's shopping done. Time to rejoin Ochuko and get back on the road.
What a day!
It has been a day.
It has. It's a lot of nattering, isn't it?
It's a lot of everything.
A lot of chit-chatting.
There's a lot of thinking,
Yes. Yeah.
chattering,
Yeah.
driving.
Yeah. You enjoying this trip, Margie?
Yeah.
Don't be too enthusiastic now, will you? Goodness me. Nighty-night. Our pair are up and ready to seize the day.
How you feeling, Margie?
Quite good.
Are you?
Slept really well. So yeah, I'm feeling bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
I had a terrible night. I had such a strange dream.
Tell me.
It was like I was in my dream was Elvis Presley.
Oh, you're taking that.
I'm not. I'm not. And he
Elvis or Elvis?
Elvis Presley. You know,
Elvis, not.
Uncanny. I thought the king was back.
You know why I slept well? Because
Go
I'm
on.
9 pounds ahead of you.
Oh, that's not nice to bring that up, really, is it?
No.
Would you be upset if you lost?
No.
Yes, you would.
No.
Yes, you would.
You're a very nice man. I couldn't lose to a nicer person.
I couldn't beat a nicer person.
It's dog eat dog here on the road trip. Yesterday, Margie splashed out on 3 lots of metalware, some Victorian postal scales, a cast iron doorstop, and a 6-piece dressing table set,
That's what you want, really.
leaving her with £114 for today. While Chuko spent more conservatively on 3 very different items: a pair of 1900 dumbbells, a Royal Lancastrian vase, and an ornate French birdcage.
It's just wonderful.
And he still has £133 and some pennies to play with.
Right, so what's your plan today?
I've got no idea. You know, that's such a difficult question, isn't it?
It is, yeah. How can you have a plan when you don't know where you're
I don't know what's
going?
going to happen. I don't know. I've not got a plan for the next hour. I don't have one.
Just keep driving.
That sounds like a plan, Chuko. And after you've dropped off Margie, point the motor to Walgerton near Nantwich. Home to Dagfield's Crafts and Antiques, an enormous site with dozens of dealers selling their wares.
This is something I absolutely love. In fact, I have something very similar to this at home. It's a pineapple ice bucket. And it's an original one, something that you don't really see that often. And these became incredibly popular.
Honourable mention to the plastic one in Only Fools and Horses.
It's got a few knocks on it, which makes it a little bit tricky. And it's got £35 on it, which I think is probably all of its money. It's not badly priced, but there's not a lot of room in there for me. I'll have to say goodbye to it.
Very sensible. Moving on.
Oh, straight to this. There's no hesitation.
Now, what have we got here then?
What a great clay pot. such a tactile item as well. This one says French 19th century walnut oil jar. And there's a little tap here. You can see there's a hole where you would just literally tap out your oil, your fuel, as you needed it. And the oil would be used for lighting, cooking, everything. So these were essential items. But nowadays, what a strong decorative interior piece with real age. 19th century, to find something like that. The person that made this with the wet clay, you can feel their thumbs and their little indentations that they would lift this up to get it fired. And I just love all that. It sort of takes you right there, right to the moment. Oh, in love with it. It's got £50 on it, which isn't a bad price, but I'm very cheeky. So if I can get this 25, a bit under, I'll be so happy.
Godspeed to you, my friend. Over to dealer John.
Oh, just found this.
Oh,
Absolutely
that's
lovely,
Doing
that.
well there, yeah, that's a really nice
That's
one.
nice, isn't it? Yeah.
It's what people are really appreciating nowadays.
Yeah.
Put it in the houses, put it in the kitchens. It's got that authenticity to it. So
Yeah.
I think, yeah, you should do well.
I'm going to try and buy it.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Could you be at £20 with it?
Oh, no.
That's cheap.
No, I'll be on jam
away,
tonight.
mate.
No, that's it. On jam. Oh,
Where would you be? I've got to start low, so we've got somewhere to...
30.
30. Could we split the difference, be at 24?
okay.
Thank you so much.
problem.
There you go, look.
Oh, look, and money
I want
as
some
well.
change.
Oh, tough.
Look.
Enjoy that.
Take
We'll see
care.
you again soon.
Thanks, John.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, John. That lovely bit of earthenware could be worth its weight in gold and leaves a chuko with £109.18. Well done. Meanwhile, Margie is taking a well-earned breather and stopping off in Stoke-on-Trent to learn about the city's most notable literary son and the work he penned to help the Allies win the Great War. Professor Ray Johnson, MBE, chairman of the Arnold Bennett Society, has spent decades studying the great author's life and work.
Well, this is the Special Collections Room at Staffordshire University, and this is our Arnold Bennett collection. He's the writer of the Potteries. We claim him as our famous writer, and he was very famous in his day.
Arnold Bennett's prolific writing career made him one of the most recognisable people in Britain by the 1920s, making his name with novels and plays, drawing on the people and places of his native Stoke.
His early inspiration was his hometowns.
Yeah.
And he continually wrote about them. And when he went to America in 1911 on the Lusitania, he'd got these self-help books, how to live on 24 hours a day. And these were very well received in America. Yeah. How to organise your life and organise time. Time is not only money, it's worth more than money. In fact, Henry Ford bought 500 copies and gave it to all his workers. He was revered as this sort of guru about how to live your life.
So it's hugely successful.
Yes. He had 3 plays running in the West End at the same time, just before the First War. Then the war came, and because he was doing these advice books and could reach people, he was invited by the government to join a collection of writers that needed to generate wartime material.
Lord Beaverbrook, head of the Ministry of Information, asked Bennett to lead the department creating British propaganda. Bennett took over the French division at a crucial stage in the war, when Paris was under serious threat from the Germans, with thousands destitute and fleeing in fear of an attack.
He did go over to the front. In 1915, he went to the trenches, went to the French trenches, the English trenches, and he was responsible for French propaganda in France.
French sentiment towards the English was desperately low, seeing the Americans' contribution to the war effort as far greater. To improve morale between the French and British, Bennett began writing complimentary press articles and pamphlets about the Allied trenches and used his society connections to convince Rudyard Kipling and other writers famous in France to take up the cause. During the 100 Days Offensive, the British forces spearheaded the Allied attack that won the war. Bennett's full contribution is unknown, though he was offered a knighthood but turned it down because it wasn't for his creative work.
after the war, and he was in London. He was the top theatre critic. He had
Right.
columns in the London Standard and the papers. He was a society man. He was a very famous person. He was famous for being famous after the war and through the 20s. So he would be very good and at home in today's celebrity culture.
One of Bennett's most notable novels, The Card, was adapted into a film starring Alec Guinness, in which a poor junior clerk meets a countess and wins a bet that he won't ask her to dance. That's you, Margie.
A beautiful young woman walks into the printer's shop.
Good morning.
Good morning, madam.
Bravo! Could have guessed you'd make a fabulous countess, Margie.
She was the finest woman that ever walked into this town.
Yeah, she gets that a lot on the road trip, Ray. Despite Bennett's incredible fame, at the end of his life his work fell out of favour and he has been largely forgotten, something Ray and others are working to correct today by campaigning for his work to be taught in schools and having a statue of Bennett erected in his hometown of Hanley.
So I'm finally going to meet Arnold.
Yes, this is Arnold.
So he's hugely important to this area, isn't he?
He said, you know, the potteries, I will always be faithful to my native town. And he always promoted it and got it known all over the world.
He's left a huge legacy.
Yeah, a huge...
Thanks very much.
Thanks very much.
Meanwhile, a short drive away, Chuko's in the motor, making miles, heading to his next shop.
Margie's very good. Margie keeps saying to me, oh, I'm not into the competition and you're a nice guy. But I think she is into the competition. And do you know what? So am I. I want to win.
Fighting talk, sir. Chuko's heading southwards to Stafford. The town became a centre of pottery production in the early 17th century due to the availability of clay, salt, lead and coal. Perhaps Chuko will find some in his next shop, Windmill Antiques, where he's got £109 and some change to spend.
Hello, hello, hello. What do you have here? Evening all. Look at that. Don't see many of them, do you? Not a lot of protection on that hat. Stylish, though. Can I get away with that? It's a bit dusty, actually. No, I'll stick with mine, I think.
I think it rather suited you, my dear chap. 4 miles away, Margie is bound for Dunstan. The village dairy farm is home to Southern Antiques, which should be music to her ears, as it's chock full of antiques and rarities, and she's still got £114 in the kitty.
Oh, look at him. I wonder if you still work. Hey, you still work? Let's try. Oh, there's a button here.
Dread to think where, Margie. That's quite enough clowning around, thank you. There are antiques to buy.
Ah, 4 holes, so it's been a plaque. And I really like plaques. This is a brass plaque. I think it's something to do with military.
Indeed, these are technical listings for Marston Excelsior Limited, who produce fuel tanks for Wellington bombers.
It's great quality, and I think somebody might find that really interesting. And that is only £35.
Well in budget, and the item could fly. Over in Stafford, Chuko's aiming high too.
It's got some great signs up on this wall. I mean, I love this Station Master sign, and I love this Evans pastels, antiseptic throat pastels for all affections of the throat. I love it.
Probably dates from the turn of the last century. No ticket price.
And this is a bit battered and bruised, but what a lovely sign, and I just love the wording on it. They're always collectible, they always do well. Ian?
Yes, Chuko.
You've got some lovely signs here. First of all, are they for sale?
Not really.
Oh, no. That's a bad start, isn't it? I like this Evans Pastels one.
Might let that one go.
It's a bit worn, isn't it?
Faded.
Yeah, faded.
Faded elegance.
Yeah, did you get it like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's really nice. What could that be?
40 quid?
40. Could we be at 34?
Suppose so.
Brilliant. You're a good man.
Thank you, Ian. £34 for the early pictorial sign leaves Chucko with £75 and some pennies unspent. A few miles down the road, Margie's still on the hunt.
Well, these look interesting. Oh, these are... Oh, this is nice, isn't it? Now then, what has that been? That is... Do you think that's been in a train coach where you put your hat on the top and you put your coat and you hook your coats on the hooks? It's a good weight. Well, that's it. And you know what? That's very reusable. It's very reusable. Somebody would put that in the house, wouldn't they? 60, 70 years old, maybe older. Nice quality. No price.
A trip to the farm sweet shop to see Jamie the dealer could be in order.
I've never done an antique deal in a sweet shop before.
That'd be first.
It's a first. Now, I've seen a brass, like, obviously it was in a train, it was a coach. And I've also seen this Marston plaque. I like plaques. So if you could, there was no price on that.
Okay.
So I'm hoping that I can buy it.
Right.
So how much would that be?
The Couchman rack,
Yeah.
I think we'd probably do 50.
So could that be a little bit cheaper than that? Could it be 30, 35?
We do 30.
OK, do 30, that's lovely. Okay. And the £35 on the plaque, the Marston plaque.
OK. We could probably do about 25 on that if you're happy with that.
OK, so I'll be very happy if I can have them both.
Brilliant,
Thank you.
Call it £55 for the two, which leaves Margie with just £59 outstanding.
Thank you so much, Jamie. I've really enjoyed my visit.
What would you do if you could go back to you could time travel into the past?
How far back?
I mean, it's far any time.
The trouble is, I'd like to go back historically, but I'd worry about going to the dentist and stuff like that.
I know, but you'd still be able to pop forward.
All right, well, I'd go back to Charles II's reign.
Why?
Because he's my favourite. It's my favourite
And what
monarch.
would you pick up stuff?
I've read so much about Charles II.
Yeah.
I want to meet him. And he did lots of good things. So I'm going back to the late 17th century to meet Charles II.
And there's me thinking
Where
about
are you
Jimi
going?
Hendrix.
So how far are you going back?
What's he, 1967?
Not quite antique, but definitely vintage. Sleep tight. Well, now, this is exciting. Our road trippers are gearing up for a watch of their second auction.
Oh, we've arrived here. Gatehouse Theatre.
Is this it?
This is it, yeah.
This is nice, isn't it?
Romeo and Juliet.
Oh.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm very ready.
They're at the Gatehouse Theatre. The performance space has just entered its 4th decade. A good time to visit. They do say life begins at 40. Our perky pair, after a dash around Cheshire, the Potteries, and into the rural West Midlands, are now in Stafford town centre, while their sacks, full of shopping treasure, have been boxed off to Nottingham, to Arthur Johnson and Sons, auctioneers, where bidders will be in the room, on the phone and on the net.
And the other side image as well. Start me at 30 on this one, please.
The woman with the gavel is Hetty Jago. Margie bought 5 lots for £150. What are your top picks, Hetty?
I think the Victorian postal scales are a good lot. I like the fact they've got the brass weights with them. The silver dressing table set is very pretty. There is a little bit of damage to it, particularly on the mirror, but I'm hoping this isn't going to affect the price too much because I think it's a really nice lot.
Couldn't agree more. 5 lots for Chucko too, on which he spent £123. Hetty, what do you think?
The wirework birdcage has that classic Victorian look about it. I like the fact that it's still got the glass bottle with it as well. I think people are going to love it and I think it will sell really well.
Back to the theatre to watch the sale via tablets. The wonders of modern technology, eh?
Here we go.
Here we go, right.
Margie's up first with the Victorian postal scales.
20's bid straight in,
there you go.
25 is bid. 30's bid now at 30. It's with max at £30. Do I see 35? 35, thank you. At 35,
Margie.
do I see 40? Any further interest? 40, thank you.
Oh, my goodness.
Right, stop now.
I don't think there were.
I will sell then. It goes online and sold then at £40.
Ooh, that's a little surprise.
Really good.
That's
You've got
all
to be
right.
happy with that,
I'm
haven't you?
very happy with that.
First past the post to a very nice profit.
What have we got now?
Chuko's turn with the early 20th century wooden dumbbells.
I love these. I believe in you, wooden dumbbells.
At £20 with me, it's on commission at £20. 25, 30s with me. At £30 the bid at 30.
I'm happy with
On
that.
the book at £30 then. And 5 in New Zealand. I've got 40
New
on
Zealand.
commission. At £40. Do I see 45 anywhere? 45, thank you, back in New Zealand. I've still got 50 with me. 50. At £50, do I see 55 anywhere? Any advance on 50, are we all done then? I will sell. It goes at 50.
I'd have never bought those in a million years.
Well done! That's a great profit. Chuko's in the lead.
I didn't expect them to do that well.
Margie now with the 6-piece dressing table set.
Start me at 80 on this one, please.
No
I
way.
have got commission interest in this, and I can start the bidding straight in at £20, only bid at 20. With me on
Starts at
commission
80.
at 20. 35 is bid straight in online. I've got 40 with me, though. 45 and 50 with me.
It's going.
On commission at 50. I've got 5 online. Do I see 60 anywhere? At £55, 60, thank
Good
you.
money.
At £60 and 5.
Good money.
70 next. At £65, do I see 70 anywhere?
That's a good price.
65
today.
then. Any further interest at 65 then, and selling at 65.
I'm very happy with that.
Great buy. I mean,
That's
this
all
is the
they're
thing.
worth.
Oh, Margie, that's great.
That tidy profit has Margie catching up.
We're in a bit of a battle, aren't we now?
We're doing all right, aren't we?
Yeah.
Most certainly. Up next, Chuko's Royal Lancastrian Black Vase.
Well, I've got commission interest in this. I've got to go straight in at £20 to start. 25 is bid online. Any advance on
One more.
£25. The vase there at 25. It's online at 25. I will sell to the internet. It goes then 30, thank you.
Oh.
At £30.
That's a relief.
35. Do I see 40? I will sell then. Goes at 35.
Yeah, I called it at that. I think that's all right. Yeah.
The buyers went potty for that one.
Well done.
Thank you.
Now it's Margie's doggy doorstop.
I have 15 only bid on commission at £15. Do I see 18 anywhere? With me on commission at 20. Do I see 25 anywhere? 25,
Look,
thank
there you go.
At £25. Any advance on 25 then? Should be more than this at 25. Any advance? 30, thank you.
There you go. She's
At 30,
great.
do I see
She is, isn't she?
35 anywhere?
Really pushes.
She really
Time to
pushes
think
it.
about it at 30. We sure? I will sell then. It goes then at £30.
Well, that was a
That
rip-roaring
is
success.
not a loss.
Every dog has his day, and this one earned a modest gain.
I like the way she pushes it.
She's good. Very good.
Chuko's turn now with the enamel sign.
I'd be super happy with £50.
Start me at 30 then. 30's bid straight in, thank you, and 5. At 35, looking for 40 now. 40 and
Okay.
5 is bid. At 45 and 50 and 5. At 55 and 60 bid, and 5 is bid. At 60 bid, 5, 70's bid.
I'm surprised.
£70. Do I see 75 anywhere? Are we all done at 70? 75, thank you, in the United States. 75. I'm selling then 80 back in the UK, thank you, at 80. Do I see 85 anywhere? Selling it away, 85, thank you. Back
Wow,
in.
I'm
United
shocked,
States at 85,
Margie.
looking for 90. I will sell then to the US at 85. 90, that was close, it's in the UK at 90. Do I see 95 anywhere? Selling it away at 90.
I'm
Well
really
done.
pleased with that.
Incredible. Chuko stormed into the lead now.
But you've not lost on anything yet.
No.
Margie's Marston Excelsior plaque is next.
Anybody at £20 for this one? Start me at 10 then. £10 is bid, thank you. In the room at 10. Do I see 12 anywhere? At £10 only, but at 10. It's with the room at 10. Any advance anywhere else? 12, thank you. 15 is bid. 18? At £15. You're out over there, it's with you at 15. Any advance on 15 then? 18's online. Thank you anyway. At £18,
Have
it's
faith.
online now at 18, looking for 20. Seems cheap at 18, but it's online at 18 then. Are we all done? I will sell at £18.
Not too bad.
Oh, well, never mind.
No.
That's the first loss today, isn't it?
Which is not to be sniffed at, is it, really?
One lucky bidder has bagged a bargain there.
It's a good auction, isn't it?
Yeah, brilliant.
One of the auctioneer's favourites now, Chuko's birdcage.
I have commission interest in this. I've got to start the bidding straight in at £30 with me. On commission at 30, do I see 35 anywhere? 35 is
Come
bid,
on.
40's with me.
Here we go.
50's bid now on the internet, 55. My bid's left well behind. A few
Oh,
at
I
90
love
bid.
this.
At £90, do I see 95 anywhere? 95 is bid, thank you. 100 is bid, 110. We all done then? It's online at 110 and I will sell then. Goes sold at 110.
You happy with that?
Very.
Excellent stuff. Chuko's more than doubled his money on that one.
Well
I'm
done.
really happy because I loved it.
Oh, that's
I
great.
loved it.
It's still all to play for. Full steam ahead with Margie's final lot, the train luggage rack.
My guess is 65.
Oh, well, I do hope so. Choco, I really hope so. I'll be very, very disappointed if this goes down.
Start me at 150 on this one, please. I have commission interest. I've got 4 commission bids on this one. I've got to go straight in at £100 to start. At 100, do I see 110 anywhere? At £100, the bid at 100. With me on commission, 110 is online. 120 is still with me. On commission at 120, 130 is online, 140.
Oh, my
bid's
goodness.
out now. 160's bid, 170 bid now. 180, thank you. 190's bid. At 190, 200,
Oh.
thank you, 210. And selling it away then at £210.
Oh, word.
Do you know what? You deserve that.
Do I
It was
deserve
a
that?
great, great thing.
Well done, Margie. That runaway lot has put you back in the lead.
He had 2 or 3 of them. Should have bought another one instead of that silly plaque.
All's not lost, Chuko. You've got one more roll of the dice, the 19th century piece of French earthenware.
What the fiddle is that?
Start me at £60 on this one, please.
Come on.
Start me at 40 then, surely. Well, I have £15 only bid on commission at 15, 40 straight in, thank you. 45? 45 is bid. 50. 55? 55 is bid, thank you. At 55 with you. 60? We go one
This
more,
is in the
60,
room.
Thank you.
Yeah.
65? Thank you anyway. 60's with you at 60. I've got 65 in New Zealand. 70? Do you want to go one more? 70, thank you. 75 back in New Zealand. 80? No, you're definitely out.
Take
Thank
one
you very
more.
Much anyway. I will sell online then. It goes at £75.
That's not bad,
How
is it?
exciting it's gone to New Zealand.
Yeah.
Another fantastic return for Chuko there.
You made good profits on a few things. I made that big profit on the one thing.
Margie started with £209 and after auction costs were deducted has made a profit of £147. So takes a total of £356.66 into the next leg. While Chuko started with £198 and 18p, after fees he made a very nice profit of £172 and goes forward with a total of £370 and 38p, making him today's winner.
Well, I think
That was a great auction, wasn't it?
terrific, yeah.
Glad I'm winning.
Only one problem.
What?
You're 20p ahead.
I'm so happy.
This one goes to Chuko, but the trip's only just started. Next time our pals shoot for the stars
What's your birth sign?
Taurus.
I am
Taurus?
Taurus.
No way!
and get carried away.
I'm almost scared.
Bring me good luck. So I beat Chuko.
And there's drama at the auction.
140, 150.
All right, stop now.